Best places to travel and stay in China. Ever since the world first discovered China through the writings of adventurer Marco Polo more than 700 years ago, this large Asian country has come to be regarded as the embodiment of all that is mysterious and exotic. Even now, after decades of economic growth, this vast country has lost none of its fascinations. Indeed, the contrast between China's ancient customs and the new ultramodern state that is developing has only increased the fascination with a culture that dates back many millennia. It's a culture that is much celebrated by the Chinese themselves, as evidenced by the preservation of such important historic sites as the Forbidden City and the Summer Palace in Beijing, each recalling the days of China's emperors. Discover fascinating, unusual, and adventurous things to do with our list of the top tourist attractions in China. 1. The Great Wall of China. Nobody can be a true hero unless he has been on the Great Wall, goes the popular Chinese saying, one that demonstrates the importance placed upon this unique ancient monument. The magnificent Great Wall of China, known in Chinese as Changcheng, or the Long Wall, stretches more than 6,000 kilometers from the fortresses of Shanhaiguan in the east to Jiaguan in the west, passing through Hebei, Tientsin, Beijing, where the best preserved sections of the wall can be visited, Inner Mongolia, Ningxia, and Gansu. Averaging 6 to 8 meters in height but rising as high as 16 meters, and wide enough in places for 5 horses or 10 men to pass, the wall boasts numerous battlements and watchtowers. Some of the wall's oldest fortifications date back as far as the 7th century BC, with the best-known areas added around 210 BC when its various sections were joined together. Today, the most visited section of the wall is near Badaling Pass northwest of Beijing, easily reached by public transport or organized tours. Other restored sections worth a visit include the section near Gabiku, 130 kilometers from Beijing, and in Muxianyu, just 70 kilometers northeast of Beijing. 2. The Terracotta Army, Xi'an. It was while digging wells on the outskirts of Xi'an in the 1970s that farmers stumbled across what was to be China's most important archaeological find, the Terracotta Army. Distributed over 3 large underground pits and built to guard the first emperor's tomb, the find included more than 8,000 life-size warriors, some 520 horses, and more than 100 chariots, along with numerous other non-military characters dating from around 280 BC. Although some were severely damaged due to the passing of time, many of the statues unearthed have been painstakingly reassembled and stand as a testament to the importance bestowed upon the emperor and the afterlife. The site, part of Emperor Qin Shi Huang's Mausoleum Site Park, is one of China's most important tourist destinations and offers the unforgettable experience of standing in front of this assembly of soldiers and horses as if inspecting a centuries-old parade. The English-language guided tours are available. 3. The Summer Palace, Beijing. An easy 15-kilometer commute from Beijing, the sumptuous Imperial Summer Palace, Yihe Yuan, is set amid more than 700 acres of beautiful parkland and is one of China's most visited attractions. While the palace itself was built in 1153, its large lake was added in the 14th century to enhance the imperial gardens. Highlights include the magnificent Hall of Benevolence and Longevity, Renshou-Dian, with its throne, and the beautiful Great Theater, a private 3-story structure built in 1891 to satisfy the imperial family's love of opera. This historic venue is still used for performances of traditional Chinese plays and musical events and is worth a visit for a performance or show. Other highlights include the Hall of Happiness and Longevity, Lishou Tang Hall, with its lovely gardens and courtyards, as well as many miles of picturesque pathways and walking trails. If time allows, try to also take in the ruins of the old Summer Palace, said to have once been one of the country's most elaborate and architecturally attractive palaces. Sadly, this once impressive structure was destroyed by colonial forces in the mid-1800s. 4. Cruising the Li River, Guilin. The town of Guilin, in the northeast corner of Guangxi, boasts some of China's most beautiful countryside and is famous for the Li River, which meanders through the town and surrounding karst mountains. While for hundreds of years this unique scenery has attracted poets and artists and has been the subject of countless fairy tales and legends, these days, it's popular with tourists from around the world wanting to see this natural splendor up close. The best way to enjoy the area is to take a cruise along the Li River. The most popular stretch is from Guilin to Yangshuo, where the river meanders peacefully through some 80 kilometers of remarkable rock formations and caves with romantic names such as the Mount of Unique Beauty, Elephant Trunk Hill, and Reed Flute Cave. Depending upon the type of boat used, you can choose from a tourist cruise ship to small bamboo punts. Trips can take anywhere from a few hours to multiple days. 5. The classical gardens of Suzhou. Jiangsu. Considered one of the world's most important historic gardens, hence their designation as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the classical gardens of Suzhou should rank highly on your China travel itinerary. Located in the historic city of Suzhou in Jiangsu province, these magnificent gardens were established in the 11th century, at a time when the city was experiencing unprecedented growth, and were among some 270 or more gardens planted here. Of the surviving restored gardens, the most famous is the delightful Garden of Lingering, a 7-acre site laid out in 1800 on the site of a park created during the Ming Dynasty. One of the most famous garden complexes in China, the garden boasts a pool, several attractive buildings, a man-made hill, a grove of peach trees. Also worth visiting is the Garden of the Zhang Lang Ting Pavilion, a 2-acre garden offering many unique features, including a double arcade connecting the inner and outer sections.